This lesson deals with formatting in fonts. Right from your Home tab on your ribbon, you've got a whole font area here. They've added some neat stuff to it. First of all, rather than Times New Roman 12, the default setting is Calibri 11 in this version, which is different. Now, before you can change the font of something, you have to select the words which you wish to affect. So, having selected this, I can now see that I've got a little toolbar here with a lot of the font stuff on it, so I can access that if I want to, or I can go right to this area. Now, we can, I guess, start with the types of fonts that are listed, and they give you a little preview of what they're going to look like, which is very handy. They're also going to show you recently used fonts that you might have used in a previous document or even on this document, but earlier on. So that's kind of handy when you want to go back to something you just used, because this list is really quite long and extensive, and they've really added some neat fonts to it, so you'll be able to check that out. Now, there's also the sizes, many sizes to choose from. If the size you're looking for isn't on the list, you can actually type it right in. So here it stops, I think, at 72, but if I want it to be 100, I can actually type 100. Hit enter. There's a key. You have to hit enter while you're in this little window, and you'll get 100 if you want 100. Another added feature, I've been using these buttons for years. I've been adding them to my toolbars because I really like them. Depending on what you're doing, they come in really handy. If you're doing a poster and you want to make these as big as they can be without falling off the page, you just keep hitting this button, keeping your eye down here to see whether you're still on page 1. And now I'm on to page 2 and page 3, so this is too big. So I would not push my luck too much. But now I've stretched it about as big as that can be, and there I have what could have been a poster without having to guess which font size I would have wanted. So those are handy little buttons there. Another handy new button, rather than undo, I could have used this. Clear the formatting. In other words, bring it right back to where it was, which is the default of this Calibri 11. I might not be saying that right. So that's a new button, great button. Bold, italic, been around for years. They've added the ability to change the kind of underline right from here. We used to just get underlined or not, but here you can actually choose the type of underline you want. You can even choose a specific color of underline if you wanted to. Very handy. We don't use superscript and subscript very often. If you wanted $1.99 and you wanted the 99 to be really small, you take the 99 and you make that a superscript. Here you've got format case, which we visited in another lesson. You can change the color, of course, of your font. And if you were reading a whole bunch of text, you can make something look like it's been highlighted with your highlight feature. So if you were reviewing your notes and you wanted to highlight one section, you'd be able to just do that. And that way you know that's an important part that you want to study later. The old menu is still around. If you like the old menu, you just click that button there, and that brings you to your old menu. But really, this menu offers very little that we don't already have there. We have small caps, which are small capital letters. So your first letter would be a regular letter, and the others would be lowercase, and then this would have this kind of a look right here. Personally, I don't find myself using these very often. I'm very happy with what they've got there. Now, if you don't like this new Calibri 11 and you want to go back to a default of Times New Roman 12, which is the old one, you can. All right. So I'm going to go back to my other document here, which I've got open. And right now I've got it set so that the default is this. But if you want to change it back, you can. You would just simply choose Times New Roman, make it 12, and then go to this menu here and say make this the new default, which means every time you open Word now, you would get this instead. A couple more lessons I want to cover. One is the Format Painter. Great tool. Not enough people know about the Format Painter. If I've got a document, I'm going to go back to my other documents instead. Okay, got a document like this. And when I created this document, it's an 8-page document. What I did is I identified the parts that I wanted as subtitles, and I made them, I believe, bold and underlined. Now, once you've done that and you like it, here's another trick that you can use. You can take a sample of what it is you like and go to, I call it the paint store. It's called the format painter, really, but I take a paint sample, so a little 1 or 2 letters. I go to the paint store, and then anything that I click and drag over will take on the exact same characteristics. So I can go right through my document and make things bold and underlined and keep going all I want. Now, let me explain real quick. Once I take the paint sample, if I single click this, I can paint one thing. If I double click it, it allows me to keep painting and painting and painting all the way through your document. They've actually put this on the main part of the clipboard because it's become such a popular tool. So once you've got an area of your document that you think looks correct, just use your format painter, take a paint sample, and just keep painting. The other thing that you can do, another trick I guess, that you can use, I'm just going to minimize this document here and go back to that one. Alright, so let's say that I have this one, if I use this menu here and I say that I want it to be this, and I want it to be 16, and then OK. If I like what I just did and I want to do it again, I can select another piece of text and I can hit my F4 key at the very, very top. And F4 means whatever I just did, do it again. It's the same thing as your repeat button, which may or may not be up here in your toolbar. I've customized my toolbar here to have some of the neat buttons that I enjoy, but I like using repeat. So in other words, whatever I just did, do it again and repeat. So Format Painter and Repeat are 2 great tools that allow you to type in an entire document, and then when you're done, making that document look good. So when I talk about making it, then making it pretty, this document didn't look anything like this when I started. It was all left aligned, it was real plain, and then using the Format Painter and things like F4, I was able to say, all right, I want that part to look this way, and then I was able to repeat that same look all the way through, and it didn't take me a lot of time at all.